I think so.
Please continue.
Sorry. Yeah. I think so. I spoke for 30 seconds where the first interruption came in. They interrupted me left, right, center. I was like, sir, let me complete.
You said, let me complete.
I said, yeah, like, oh, yeah, I'm just completing that. I just said that.
Oh.
And he was like, oh, you were not finished. I thought you finished. And I was like, no, sir, I'm very far from being finished. I actually said that. And with a smiling face, I said that. Then they gave me very valid points. They gave me very valid points about AI. And of course, I was getting overwhelmed. Yes, I agree with your point, but this point, I stand by my point. So the whole gist was that you have to give a backup to your point, whatever it is. It could be anything that Trump is the best president. Either this topic, you just have to make sure that you don't back down from your point. And trust me, they'll give you such valid points that you'll be amazed. कि ये मैंने कैसे नहीं सोचा.
I want to stop you right here, Shivani, just because I'm taking down notes
Yeah,
with
please,
everyone.
please. Yeah.
So, and this I've heard from everyone, not everyone, from a lot of people. This we had a discussion we had a similar discussion with R1 admits of IIM Ahmedabad also. I just want to confirm that what you're saying is perfect before I advise it to others. So you're saying once you choose a side in Extempore, they will keep trying to kind of
sway you away.
Sway you from your opinion. And you need to hold your guard.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Okay.
Like
Please continue.
yeah. So they will throw you from random places. They even interrupt you in a different topic. They will try to take you like away from the topic also. And you just have to make sure that you by the end of this whole discussion of 10-15 minutes on extempore, your point is clear. To be very honest, when I started speaking, there was this one professor who was like, wait, are you speaking in for or against?
Okay.
So for a second, my confidence was very shook that, okay, I think so I was not very clear. I didn't frame my answer well. So they make you nervous also by speaking things like, no, but this wasn't the question. So they will give you 10 reasons to doubt whatever you're speaking. And when you're in that environment, you 100% doubt yourself, because there are people sitting in front of you who have experience like equal to your actual age.
Of course.
Yeah. So
course.
you're like, you should ये सही बोल रहे होंगे या जो भी बोल रहे हैं. But to be very honest, they did a very good job at shaking my confidence. But thankfully, I had a smiling face throughout. For some reason, I knew that they're gonna take me away from my topic, so I made sure I bring them back to the topic.
Okay.
I actually told them, sir, definitely that's very true, but let me complete this. I'll come back to your topic. And I used to address their topic in 10 seconds. So I tried this way where I made sure they listen to my topic while also listening to their interruptions as well. So that really worked out for me. And good thing for me was AI is something that I actually work in.
Yes.
My work is based on AI.
Right.
So I swept my work experience in that topic also.
Okay.
So that extempore actually was 20 minutes. Usually it lasts for 10-15 minutes.
Okay.
But it ended up to 20 minutes because I started giving them examples. And then they started asking me about my product, the AI-based product. And that was my territory. I knew that I can rule this territory. And that was the time where I felt so confident. Initially, I thought that I'm speaking anything. I don't know what I'm speaking. But when I brought them to my territory, I was so sure that I'm going to blow them away. So for the next 10 minutes, I had an interview of 30 minutes almost. For the next 10 minutes, I spoke everything about my work ex. They didn't ask me any question about why MBA, why IIM Ahmedabad, what are your post MBA goals, the regular questions that you prepare for. They didn't ask me anything. They asked me the extempore topic. Then they asked me my work experience and in depth, not just a superficial work experience, but in depth. What are your products? If I am a merchant, how will you sell me your particular product? What if I have a better product? How will you how will you convince me that your product is better than what I'm currently using? They asked me proper pitches, and thankfully I am a good salesman, so I was able to tackle those
Obviously.
questions. Yeah, so I was able to tackle those questions, and they were pretty happy with it. I could see that.
Oh, so
Then
there was happy expression on their face?
they were actually smiling throughout, but I couldn't figure out which one is a sarcastic smile, which one is a good smile.
Because
So
people told me they don't smile. They
no,
are
no, mine
very.
was actually smiling. The
Okay.
one who was
Okay.
drinking Diet Coke, I don't know what he mixed in the Diet Coke, but he was smiling throughout.
Okay. Okay.
Yes. So then they started asking me about sports. So I've been a sports person myself. I
Hmm.
am a state level power lifter. So they
Yes.
were very intrigued by the powerlifting thing. So then they started asking me about the Vinesh Fogart scene that happened in
Okay.
Paris Olympics. So then they asked me questions about, okay, do you think that was fair? Do you think 100 grams ki wajah se, like she was disqualified? Do you think it's a fair thing? It was just 100 grams. So, and the entire nation was supporting Vinesh Fogart and taking that side that was fair, that she was taken out of the competition because sports rules are rules. It is her, and I was very confident and I was very open and I was very quick in saying that okay, I completely agree your point that the nation was with her, but definitely 100% I am with the organization, the Olympics team that who disqualified them. So started asking me about my fitness journey and everything. And then they suddenly like, ki, okay, we're done. You can go. And I was like, I thought they'll ask me more questions about my MBA,
Yeah.
my IIMA, anything like that. And then they like very abruptly entered the interview. And I swear, at that moment, I thought, I think so. They didn't like my answer. They are bored. And I started questioning myself, but then it was all good. They offered me like a bowl of toffees,
Yeah.
and then that was the end of the interview. I had that toffee. I had a Mentos, orange Mentos, which I took, and I kept that toffee in my pocket, and I promised to myself that I'll
Yes.
only eat that toffee if I get an admit, else I throw it away. And I got my admit on 20th of January, and I
Yes.
ate that toffee on 20th of January.
Somewhere around evening. At least I got
Yes.
to know in the evening.
Yes,
I
yes.
don't know
So
when you got
I
it.
ate that toffee with the fullest heart. Else I was gonna throw that
I
toffee.
have uh,
So
I have marked your message. I have always star marked some messages from the admits and share it to the next batch to motivate them. Let's see,
yeah.
this is how the entire journey is. Uh,
Yeah. So that was a souvenir that I took from the
One thing I
interview.
heard from many
Yeah.
people that if they are giving you a chocolate, it means you might get it. I
I actually, like a lot of people, like when, after I got out of the interview room, a lot of people told me that, oh, you got a toffee, tera to fir pakka hai. And I was like, नहीं,
I
मेरे
don't think
सामने
it's true.
biscuits भी थे. They offered me the entire tray. They had biscuits, they had everything. And I chose toffee because biscuit pocket में रखना मुश्किल था.
There is a psychological reason, according to me. They see yours thankfully went much better.
Yeah.
They have made people cry. So they are giving some glucose rush before you leave. Don't go and faint.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
but mine was the best thing about the interviews were very calm. They were
Hmm.
not very कि ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता, because I heard from a lot of
Yeah.
interviews they were like कि no, ये तो गलत बोल रहे हो तुम, ये ऐसा तो
Huh.
होता ही नहीं है, ये तो कोई दूसरा ही टॉपिक, तो मतलब they were throwing, मतलब बहुत offensive way में they were reacting.
Yes, yes.
Mine were not reacting
If you talk
in
to
that way.
Syed, who just graduated, in case you talk to him, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
They asked him, why do you want to do an MBA? They said, ये तो तुम्हारे कंसल्टेंट ने रटाया है तुमको, अब असली आंसर बताओ. And Syed was like, I don't know what is
Oh,
the asli answer. This is why I am trying to do an MBA. You can cross question me if I want.
yeah.
So yeah,
Oh my God.
they have been very rude to few people.
There was this one person whose extempore topic was about the Manipur, the internet ban
Violence.
in Manipur.
Okay.
So they asked him ki, like, should the internet be banned in Manipur for the local people? So that person said, yes, it should be banned. So the interviewer got offended and he said कि तुम खुद तो बाहर बैठ के इंस्टाग्राम चला रहे थे और तुम चाह रहे हो कि मणिपुर वाले इंटरनेट ना यूज करें. And मतलब when an interview is, I guess Anshul is stuck, or is
No,
it
no.
just me? Oh,
Yeah.
I think so. It was stuck for me. Yeah. हाँ. So he was like कि तुम खुद बाहर बैठ के इंस्टाग्राम चला रहे थे और तुम चाहते हो कि मणिपुर वाले इंटरनेट ना यूज करें.
Oh God.
And when he told me this experience, I was like, shit, I'm so glad that my panel was sweet enough to at least be respectful. So yeah, that was my interview experience. Sorry, I like
No,
took up
no,
a lot
no.
of time,
I
but
wanted you to narrate it in full detail, even no matter how much time it takes, because it is important for people to know.
yeah,
You both, Swapnil and you, have attended such sessions in the past, and that's the reason
yes,
you had a lot of clue about a lot of things which many
yeah,
people do not know. Before I move to Swapnil, I want you to say two things to people. I have put the link of our WhatsApp group. Please join if you have not joined yet. Second, please ask your questions in the chat while these people are narrating their experience, so that I can take those questions. I mean, these people can take those questions at the end. Swapnil, your interview experience, how did it start? How did they figure out what exactly to ask you in midst of all that hocus pocus of a work experience that you have?
Okay. So, um, if I have to start explaining the kind of interview that went, I can very well resonate with what Shivani said. Actually, thankfully, my interview was very calm and very nice also. They were very respectful, very nice to me. I think it was one of the best interviews that I faced. Although I also heard extremely, grilling experiences that IIM Ahmedabad are very, they're extremely, disrespectful, or maybe they are very, sometimes becomes very rash when the interviewer is not able to explain things according to what they want. So yeah, but the difference was that although I was obviously not very sure whether they'll take me or not, because as I said, when I applied also, I was very skeptical of the fact that my score was not good enough. So maybe they have invited me just for the sake of it. कि चलो देख लेते हैं कैसी है. So in my case, I was very calm. I was very composed, and also because of my job profile, usually I keep calm and composure when I'm under pressure. So this is something that I've been taught in my job as well.
Not only
So
under pressure, you were very calm while going through all these
yeah,
disappointments during GMAT also. And I was very glad that how you took the entire journey. So again,
yeah, usually
pat
I think
your
that is something.
pat your back from my
Thank
side.
you, thank you.
Okay,
Okay,
please continue.
so yeah, so usually, even in my nature, I am usually calm when I'm under pressure. I don't take things very seriously. I just take things as they come. So when I went for my interview was also scheduled on 22nd of December. In the very first session, I was the first person to be interviewed on that day by my panel. So yeah, when my name was called, I was not expecting that I'll be the first one. But then, okay, chalo, I went for it. I sat outside, just Shivani said that I was also, feeling a bit jittery what they'll ask me. And but then again, as I said, I just kept calm. I said, whatever they'll ask me, I'll answer as easily as I can, because I don't need. I was very clear that I don't want to justify myself why I'm here. I'm here because I want to, and because I think I'm capable enough to be here. Because I've been called by one of the best institutes in the country, so definitely I'm good enough. So I went with that kind of a thought. The very first thing that they asked me was, did you have your breakfast? So I said, yes, I had. So they were very nice. The very first question was very nice. And then they gave me, as Shivani mentioned, that they asked me to pick a chit from that bowl for the extempore one. And my topic was actually about, I think, should internet and social media platforms be heavily regulated? This was my topic roughly that I can remember. So yeah, so actually this was a good topic for me, because when it comes to regulation, usually it is something that is related to the government side, that the government is regulating it. So it was something that I was very much familiar with. So thankfully, I took a stand on that. And as Shivani also mentioned, that obviously they will try to sway you from your point. All you need to do is you have to take a stand. I'll also repeat her point. Please take a stand. Don't try and be diplomatic, okay? Because when you start getting diplomatic, they start thinking that, okay, you're confused. Maybe you're not strong enough to defend your point. It's not important to be right or wrong. It's important to have your own view. So that is what they're looking for. So I also had a very strong view about that point, and I tried to defend myself. And then they tried to interject me at each and every point, and then I continued my position. I also smiled. I kept a smile on my face. Whenever they were interjecting me, I just mentioned that, sir, I can understand from where you are coming from, but I guess this is my point of view, and I think we both can coexist. It's just that we have two different views about the topic. And then I also gave it a personal touch because, see, during my preparation stage also, and as an officer also, I have been living in a small town. As I mentioned that I'm from Sivan. So internet for me is like a boon, because that was the only way that I prepared myself for such a tough exam. Sitting in a small town when you cannot have enough, resources, the only thing that saved you was the presence of an internet connection and maybe, certain social media platforms through which you can connect. So I think I also gave it a personal touch by saying that, because I come from a place, so I can bet you, sir, that for people like us, it is very important to have these things there. And yes, I think regulation is important, but only when it is moderately regulated and not heavily. So this is the point that I try to defend. And yeah, they were also against it about cyberbullying and cyber crimes and all that. But I stood by my point, because I knew that having an internet connection in my city was very beneficial for me. So I think, yeah, it was very beneficial. Trust me, I don't have electricity, but I have the internet connection. So that's the best part. So I also gave it a personal touch with my experiences. And yeah, it went on for about 15 minutes, my extempore topic. And at the end, they said, okay, you have your own point, we have ours. I think we can coexist together.
Oh,
So thank you for...
I think that was done. That is,
that was done.
Shivani
Yes.
and Swapnil, I think, but that time only if you are able to shut them up.
Yeah, so they
then
say, okay, you have your point, we have ours.
Yeah.
I think it's okay. Let's agree to disagree. So I said, okay, absolutely, sir. The feeling is mutual. Okay, so now coming to the second part. Okay, so when my actual interview started, they were very much interested in knowing my academic background, because as I mentioned that I have done an engineering, and even during my school days, I was very active in extempore and debates and cultural events, and I was also an NCC candidate. So just like Shivani mentioned about her sportsmanship part, they also were interested to know about my NCC part, that why did I enroll myself into being an NCC cadet, and I completed my certificate A also in the school level. I also attended camp. So I think roughly about 2-3 minutes of my interview went for that, about NCC and everything, and what NCC taught me, and what are the learnings that I can carry from my school days. And after that, they went ahead with my BTech, my MTech, everything, and also because I took a 2-year sabbatical in between, so they were focusing on that also. Okay, why did you take that 2-year gap, and what did you learn in that 2-year gap, and how did you utilize those 2 years later on? So I defended my point by saying that because I was preparing for UPSC examination, so that was a well thought thing that I took. And after that, I started working as an assistant professor, and also continued my preparations for BPSC. And eventually I was able to crack BPSC in my first attempt. So they were happy with that. Okay. So they asked me, so you were able to crack what you wanted? So yes, I was. So then went ahead with my experiences in the field. Okay, so the last 5 to 7 minutes just went, the questions were more about my field experiences, like what exactly you do and how do you, handle the crowd and everything. Because usually you'll find that the civil servants are mostly dealing with people who are, from the grassroots levels, and it becomes very difficult to make them understand or convince them. At the same time, handling the pressures of the department and administration, general administration, and everything. And the best part was because it's okay. So as I mentioned earlier, that I'm from the cooperative department, and I don't know if many of you will know, but Gujarat is also a cooperative hub, because the cooperative movement in the country started from Gujarat, from Anand. That you must have heard about Amul and all. So because they were very well aware of it. So they were very much interested in knowing about the cooperatives and what exactly the cooperatives are doing for the country right now, and how will they be helping the rural population to get, financially included into the masses and all. So it was a very, I can say it was a very well, a very nice conversation. It was very conversational. It was like knowing my views, telling theirs, and just trying to, fill the knowledge gaps if there is any about the cooperatives and all. And I think apart from that, so my last question was, this was the general thing that went on for about 10 minutes about my job, my profile, my NCC. Last question was, because you are a civil servant, do you think that you'll be fitting in the cohort of IIM Ahmedabad? Won't it be tough for you to, switch and get a job here? What exactly are you looking forward to? So I mentioned that, okay, I'm looking forward to this thing, and I see myself in working in these kind of companies. And then they again asked me, what else? So I said, okay, sir, I again gave another answer. Okay, I also look forward to working in other set of the industries where I think my experience will be relevant. Again, they asked, what else? So I thought, what should I answer? Then I said, okay, sir, I think I should be interacting with my cohort when I'll enter the college. And I think I would love to explore more options if there's any for me. But yes, I think my peers will definitely be good enough for me. They'll be good enough to teach me something new about new job profiles, or maybe. So that is what I said. And then they said, okay, nice. And also they closed by saying that it was nice meeting with Swapnil. You can take that mentors thing when you can take a toffee. And it went well, actually. It was very nice, very calm, and yeah, nothing wrong happened there. So that's why when I came out, I was also skeptical कि अरे ऐसे ही तो नहीं कर दिया इन्होंने, क्योंकि लेना तो है नहीं, तो गप्पे मार के वापस कर देते हैं. So, but when I got my result, so I got waitlisted initially. Yeah, I got waitlisted initially, but I remember on 26th February, I was able to convert, and I was very happy because, as I told you, that it was something that was least expected for me. Not because I was not confident of it, because I thought maybe just for the score part of it, although my profile was nice, I really worked on my profile very well and everything. I was very confident also. I never felt that I was in any way lesser than any other candidate in that group of that lot. But just because of the score, I thought maybe they might not be able to compromise their image brand for a candidate like me. But I think when they did, I think that was a day that I finally can tell you that please don't wait for a perfect GMAT score. Please don't. I think when you have a good profile, when you'll be able to justify yourself, that's all IIM Ahmedabad is looking forward to. And also I can also tell you one more thing. Try and be simple. Don't try to, sometimes what happens, people try to speak so much about themselves. They like to flaunt their specialities or their experiences. You don't need to. If you know what you are, just be simple, speak your heart out, and let them decide. They are very experienced people. They know how to judge the candidates. They don't need you to speak out of your way and brag about yourself. So
there is a sentence
that's all I have to say.
I tell to everyone, specifically ISB and IIM Ahmedabad candidates, there is no way you can impress them. IIM Ahmedabad interviews taken by very senior professor. दुनिया देखी उन लोगों ने, बाल उनके सफेद हो गए हैं. ISP interviews taken by alums. आपने जो भी किया लाइफ में वो कर चुके हैं, उसके आसपास, if not more. Your job is to tell your story.
Correct.
Without trying to impress them.
Correct.
No Adcom, no tier 1 B school Adcom can be impressed during an interview. You might be, until you're really some national award winner, might be there. Okay. But the thing is that I do not work with such people. I have never worked with someone who is overachiever. Never. I work with very normal people like you and me. And I tell them this thing and they keep saying I have nothing in my profile. I said, IIM Ahmedabad has 160 seats. Do you think all 160 seats are star-studded people? If they're so star-studded, they will not need MBA, na? They will do something of their own already when they are younger or something. I don't know. IIM Ahmedabad does look for a few qualities. People who are very strong from inside, very opinionated. They know how to hold their opinion and don't crumble under pressure. I'll tell you why they look for this for this particular skill. Because if you look at IIM Ahmedabad PGPX website, if you have attend their official webinars, they always say we are looking to make leaders. They try their best to place you directly in senior leadership roles. When I say senior leadership, I mean senior of the middle management cadre. Now, mostly the kind of roles you will get after IIM Ahmedabad, you will be sitting in the boardroom, taking important decisions and giving your opinion. You cannot say something stupid in front of very diverse stakeholders and very important stakeholders. So that's the other skill they are trying to check. during the interview, that if you are being kind of not really insulted, but kind of confronted left, right, and center for whatever you're speaking, how do you react in such situation? And they don't do it one or two times. They do it again and again and again. Even in Shivani's case and Swapnil's case, those were nice. Those two people were kind of nice to you. They were still confronting you at each and every point, right? They were still trying to
Absolutely.
change your opinion. They were not being all rosy, nice, and हाँ जी जो भी बोल लो चलेगा जैसे आईएसबी में होता है, बिल्कुल नहीं. Because this is, again, every school has their own different way of some ethos around which they take admission. For example, INSEAD का ethos है कि you need to have some international work experience outside your home country. ISB का एक ethos है that something you should have done through which you'll be able to contribute to the cohort. Similarly, IIM Ahmedabad का ethos है that because we are trying to place you in a senior leadership role, you have to be very much, you should be having great executive presence, a great presence of mind, and very appropriate communication skills so that you don't say anything stupid in front of in high stakes situations. So please, people who are serious about IIM number, there are so many people who did not even apply to ISP who are joining your batch. Let me tell you, Karan Sarpal, who reports to Mukesh Ambani, didn't apply. They all wanted to apply. They didn't have high score. I asked them, please apply to IIM Ahmedabad in round 1. Round 2, we will do ISP when you have a score. Once they got IIM Ahmedabad, no one bothered. Atul Santosh Krishna, who had a very similar role as Shivani. He's a growth manager at Swiggy, and even his previous roles were really good. Ankit Mishra didn't apply. He had a decent GRE, 324 he had, or 325. I said, why are you not applying? He said, I don't have any answer for it. He didn't apply. He started very early for IIM Ahmedabad. He started in April only. But I kept pushing him to at least apply. He didn't apply. So there are people who are taking this college seriously as their first uh, preference. So please have people who are attending it. If you're serious, please start inculcating these skills from today. It's not that difficult.
And sure, I would like to add one more
Please,
point because I
by
just
all
missed
means,
out.
by all means, by
Yeah,
all
I
means.
just missed out something that also was asked during my interview.
Yes.
I had this thing that, okay, so basically I also am very active in the field of education. Okay, so I also told you about that, I guess, yeah. So apart from managing my work, I'm also very much active in the field of child education, and I'm also associated with few of the coaching centers where I teach free of cost.
Okay.
And I think I have been teaching for about 3 years, and I also was awarded for that. I got that Rashtriya Gandhi Seva Ratna Puraskar. So I had mentioned it in my interview. In my resume, sorry. So I think that also got pinpointed during my interview. I remember now that they also asked question about that. Okay, so you are also active in socially. So I said yes, sir. And so they just asked me about randomly why education. Why did you get into education? You could have gone into any other field as well. So I defended my point that I always felt that education is something that constructs or constructs a good life for people, especially from the lower strata of the society. So I think if you can teach a child at the very early stage, that I think they can definitely make something good with their life. So I'm extremely, and I have been associated for about, I think for the past 10 years, since my college days, I have been associated with some of the really big NGOs like Teacher for India and Prayas and all. So I think that was also one of the points that was being picked up from my resume. So if anyone of you have that kind of association, please put it in your resume. I think that will definitely get you highlighted.
Okay. Now, next question is to both. Shivani can answer first. How much they picked from your essays and resume? We worked so hard for essays and resume. Went through in your entire history, everything. How much they picked from your resume and essay during the interview?
Okay. I'll go first.
Because this answer is different. Everyone I asked, they answered it differently. I want to know from you too. Nupur has unfortunately logged out because she's in Bihar, Patna, and Ram Navami Julus is going on. So Swapnil will understand how it happens in Bihar.
I did my duty yesterday. I'm free today. I had 12 o'clock.
She will join back once the noise reduces and the power comes back.
Yeah.
But okay. Shivani, please.
Yeah. So for me, they didn't ask me anything from my resume. Nothing. But that's probably because I like we had a like 10-15 minutes discussion on my work only.
Okay.
When I say they didn't ask me from my resume, I mean they didn't ask me the details of the deals that I did,
Okay.
or the courses that I did, or any sort of work related achievement that I did.
Okay.
They didn't ask me anything about that. They did ask me about my work in depth. They
Okay.
asked me what all products that I have, how do I deal with the clients, pitch me if I'm a client, pitch me. So they asked me everything. They just wanted to see how good I am at my job. Like, is she an average person who's probably just doing job for a salary, or does she actually, when you say sales, because to be very honest, sales is something a lot of people are not very aware what sales is.
Yeah.
And everybody has this, I don't know, for some reason there's this notion in their head कि sales person है तो ऐसा door to door जाके ऐसा हार्पिक बेचते होंगे, but no. But no, guys, like when I say sales, like for me, mine is an enterprise sales. So I talk to CHROs, I talk to CTOs of multinational companies.
Yes.
So that is something that I like. My business is to sell it to the head of a business, of another business. So that is a different kind of sales altogether, and they were actually pretty impressed when I told them that. I actually mentioned that I speak to CHROs. So I tried highlighting things in between when they asked me something. I tried highlighting one thing or the other, like Swapnil said, because I wanted to give them those hooks. I wanted to get them those hooks so that they get hooked on to that. Like, okay, if I say a buzzword like enterprise sales, so they'll be like, oh, what is enterprise sales? Okay, well, like, I'm sure they know, but they would want to know more about it. Thankfully, powerlifting was one thing that I highlighted in my essays. So they read my essays, and powerlifting was one thing that was very clearly highlighted in the first paragraph
Yes.
where they read it.
With full intentions. With full intentions.
With good intentions. So
Yeah.
I had highlighted my weight loss journey, and to be very honest, they were very friendly enough. So I cracked a joke also, like not a joke, but they asked me about, okay, you're a powerlifter, you've had a fitness journey. So I told them that yeah, sir, I was an obese, I was an overweight child, like since the start I was an overweight child, and please don't judge me by the way I look right now, because I'm fat again. So by the way I look right now, but yeah, I was a powerlifter. I'm a powerlifter, and I've played till states, and they were very impressed by it in a very weird way. They wanted to know more about it, but they didn't smile. They didn't give me any like, oh, tell us more.
Huh.
They started asking me in this like, oh, you're in sports. So then they shifted to the whole Vinesh Fogart thing.
Hmm.
So I would say essays may you have to hook those points where they're interested in, because powerlifting is something that you would not see in a girl's essay.
Yes.
So that was something that caught their eye. Uh, Resume again, I think so. They just want to know how good are you at your job.
Hmm.
I'm not sure if they're actually looking ki, okay, justify this statement that you've written that you've gotten $1 million to your company, justify this. I don't think they're looking for that, because they asked me the most basic sales question ki kaise bechte hain. They
Okay.
just wanted to understand if I'm skillful enough. They don't care if I've done a $1 million deal or a 5 rupee deal. They just wanted to see how good I am at the job.
This boils down to our yesterday's discussion with Heth, who is going to ISB.
Mhm.
He said, I was able to explain my work, which was core finance. His interviewer was someone with 20 years of work experience in marketing. And this guy was a typical investment banker. He said, that guy didn't understand anything. And I explained my entire work in a way that I can explain it to a toddler. So
Oh.
when you said, Shivani, that they are asking kaise bechte hain? So did
Hmm.
you also simplify everything and explain it to them? Or how was your approach by
Absolutely,
explaining your work
absolutely.
ex to them? Please highlight it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So basically, of course, they don't know about my products.
Huh,
They don't know what it is happening in the HR world.
huh.
So they were very curious also to know ki, okay, you sell to the HR folks of like multinational companies. I was like, yes, I help them streamline their operations, streamline the entire HR processes. So then they're like, okay, what are the challenges that these HR people face? So then I had to tell them, ki, okay, this is the challenge, that a lot of people are not susceptible to a lot of changes. Like HR world is doing things at their traditional place, traditional pace, and they don't want to change because for them change seems like a hassle. So they were like, okay, why is this a hassle? So they were very inquisitive. They were very curious in knowing कि okay, actually चल क्या रहा है HR space में. So that was also, they wanted to understand कि even if I'm selling something, do I actually understand the pain points of the merchant also, या फिर मैं बस incentives के लिए बेच रही हूँ? So they asked me in detail कि okay, challenges क्या होते हैं. So then I told them कि sir, career page पे there are thousands and thousands of resumes that come in, but nobody has time to manually shortlist them.
Right.
And then all of them go to junk.
Yeah.
So technically you're sitting on a pile of such good candidates and
Yes.
not utilizing them. So how we can utilize them? So then they got interested in knowing the product. They're like, okay, okay, tell me more, tell me more. So that was the interesting part when I made them understand from scratch ki actually what is the pain point of the seller and how do I connect my product to their pain point. So I told them one very, very like a statement which I think that was something they were impressed by. I told them, don't find buyers for your products. Find products for your client.
Right. Got it.
Right?
Right.
So you have a client. Now you have to tell him कि sir आपके लिए ये best है या वो best है. मतलब just randomly don't go out and sell things to people. कि sir ये ले लो, ये नहीं तो ये ले लो, ये नहीं तो वो ले लो. So they just wanted to understand if I'm a salesman, and because I told them very clearly that a salesman, everybody's a salesman and everybody should be a salesman. Right now, I'm selling myself to you. If I have a company, I am a CEO. I would be selling my like my company to the employees. So everybody down the line has to be a salesman. So they were pretty like I could see that in the eyes that okay, they look satisfied. And now they're just finding out ways to okay अब इसको और परेशान कैसे करें. But हाँ, so this was, and I was very confident with the middle part of my interview when they asked me what my work ex.
Right.
So that was actually, I think so that made the cut for me. That they were impressed by the work that I'm doing. कि sales थोड़ा tricky है, but how these sales skills are transferable and how what she'll do after and how these skills will help her. So I think so they actually like were finding out fit for the college also.
Obviously.
How is
They
she?
are
Yeah.
very particular.
So
It's a small
yeah,
batch. It's not a big
exactly.
guys. They pick people like, okay, this person would really fit well. This person I'll
Absolutely.
be able to place in a senior leadership role.
Yeah.
And this person is also easily placeable.
Yeah.
That they don't want bad placements.
Yeah.
Their placement report is third party audited, as I keep saying.
Yeah.
Everything that they mention in the report is 100% true.
Yeah, that is very true. They actually verify everything that you mentioned in your CV also.
Yes.
That needs to be verified with your managers. Everything needs to be verified.
When?
Yes.
When does this step happen?
During placements.
During
You have to
placement.
verify. You have to verify everything that you write in your CV. This is after
need
you
to-
got an admit when you were a student.
Even
So
then,
yes.
I would
You
have
can't
been thrown out of
write.
ISB. That
just
was the
before placements, just before placement, to add to that, what Shivani said, just before placements, you need to get an approved mail as a evidence that okay, if you are claiming that you have done this work, then it is at least approved by the person who was your
What?
senior, who was your
Yes.
controller. Yes,
Oh my
yes,
God.
yes, yes.
This is a news to me. No one told me this.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
you can't write that.
You can't fluff.
You can't. You actually can't.
Yeah.
No wonder their placements are so good. Like, because they are developing this trust on the both side. They're
Yeah.
developing this trust with their recruiters also.
Yeah.
Their recruiters are coming there blindly. Kyo.
Yeah.
These 160 people are great people. They have done this work.
And to be very honest, I don't think any other IIMs also follow this.
No, no. IIM A is here. I always say IIM A is here. All other IIMs are here. There's a big difference. And it
Yeah.
carries the legacy. It's one of the oldest, the second oldest IIM of the country after IIM Calcutta.
Yeah.
And it has maintained its legacy and its brand over years and years and years. There was 1 year where it was ranked higher than ISB in 1 year MBA ranking. 3 years ago.
Yeah.
Abhi, it's
Wow.
just one thing I wrote wrong in the flyer. IIM Ahmedabad is 31st rank, not 33rd. Please
Yes.
let everyone know this. Okay.
Eh,
Yeah, Shivani, please. You want
No,
to?
I was just like to all the applicants who are applying
Yes.
in 2006, I would just say I would reiterate one thing that Anshul said. Don't wait for the perfect score. Try your best to get a score.
And what is a perfect score? पहले ये बताओ.
There is no perfect score.
Correct.
Trust me.
कौन सा
Trust
है?
me, there's
क्या
no
है
perfect
perfect
score.
score? कुछ
Very
नहीं.
true. Very true. But I would say try till the point where you think ki, oh, I can 100% do better than this.
Yes.
Then only try
Correct.
again.
Yeah.
But if you're very close to the deadlines, I would say apply.
Yeah.
Because there's one quote that I always live by. क्यों डरे जिंदगी में क्या होगा कुछ नहीं होगा तो तजुर्बा होगा.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I sent this to the applicants also that day that sometimes not getting what you want is a wonderful stroke of luck.
Absolutely.
Maybe you did not get a score which helped you to really, really work hard for this.
Yeah.
There's a 100 percentile guy in the waitlist batch of ISP, still waitlist, almost मतलब reject now. 100 percentile. He was working for a perfect score, right? He got a perfect
Yeah.
score. What is the use of that perfect score? Tell me.
Yeah. True.
This call, there is a guy with a 715 in GMAT. I'll not take his name. I know him because we have talked one-to-one. Unfortunately, couldn't get through IIMA or ISP. What?
Yeah.
क्या कर बताओ क्या फायदा उस perfect score का?
Yeah.
So please, guys,
Very true.
by all means, achieve a higher score. I'm not saying by all means, but what Shivani said, Shivani, I want you to repeat it.
Yeah.
Try till you think that अब नहीं हो पा रहा है.
Yeah.
अब नहीं इससे बढ़ेगा. ठीक है. Not everyone has
Exactly.
the same skill, na? It's
Yeah.
an aptitude exam. If you cannot crack an aptitude exam, doesn't mean you cannot do other things,
Very true.
right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, how many of you attended Manthan event?
I did.
You did? Swapnil,
I
I
did.
don't think you did, right?
I didn't. No, I didn't. No.
Shivani, what were your learnings? Just to let everyone know, Manthan is an event which IIM Ahmedabad, it's a networking event with the upcoming batch and the current batch. I mean, not the entire upcoming batch. When did they do it? They did it
Then 7th, 8th, 9th of February.
7, 8, and 9 of February. Not all the admits come by February.
Yeah.
Some waitlist are still.
But there were a lot of people came actually. There were
So
almost 82. Sorry.
they do your tickets also?
No, nothing they do.
Okay, so they invite the upcoming batch to meet the current batch. So you must have met the current batch, you must have met the professors and everything. What was your experience?
Okay.
About the school, about the kind of people they are taking, you must have met your future batchmates also.
Yeah.
How strong the cohort is, how strong your senior cohort is. I have 3 people. I don't know if you met Syed, Mayank, Vamsi, and
I met Vamsi.
you met Vamsi, okay.
Yes.
There was one more person, I forgot his name. 4 people in the senior batch. Current batch mein to 9 hai. There are 9 of you.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, continue. Tell me more
Okay,
about.
so Manthan mein, to be very honest, I was there for 2.5 days. 2 days, full 2 days I was there. And it's a great experience. It was super hectic. We had everything. The moment I entered, there was this professor who was delivering a lecture, and he gave us a piece of paper, and he made syndies. We call it syndicates. These are groups, basically. They randomly made groups, and they were like, okay, this is the case. It was 10 p.m. at night. We were in a class. They gave us a case. He's like, okay, you guys have to submit a PPT by 2 a.m. today.
Okay.
Half of the people didn't have a laptop. Half of the people didn't know each other. And they just threw us, everybody, like all of us, just like with a curveball, ki abhi jao case solve karo. And when we were there, everybody was allotted a Cindy room, which is a syndicate room, and these are discussion rooms. Every syndicate was given one separate room. Every 30 seconds, there were a bunch of seniors came in, apna intro do. every 10 to like there were almost 30 to 40 times we had to give our intros. And to be very honest, it was a great way of actually highlighting your strengths.
Yeah.
The first thing that I said was that I'm a state level powerlifter. And trust me, everybody in the batch knew that I'm a powerlifter now in my
Nice.
senior batch.
Nice. You need that kind of
Yeah.
recognition before starting.
Yes,
It helps.
because if I had started, I'm an engineer, I worked in Zomato and everything. So I don't think that would have made the cut. Everybody knew, oh, you're a powerlifter, oh, you're a powerlifter. So it was a great experience in terms we played games and in terms of networking, we actually got to interact with a lot of senior folks. Though they couldn't say anything about the placements and stuff, everybody was like they had their placement round, but they
Did you
couldn't
meet
say anything.
Priyanshi by any chance?
I didn't meet Priyanshi, I meet Rashri.
But Rashi is your batchmate.
Yeah.
You'll anyway meet her.
No, she is going to ISB.
Okay. Rashi is going to SBO.
Yeah.
But Priyanshi is in the current batch. I mean, the batch which just
Oh, okay.
graduated. She is again a great candidate. She was the only person I actually met when I went to the campus because all
Oh.
other had gone to their Paris trip.
Oh.
But I met
Yeah.
her and her friend or boyfriend, I think so, is
Yeah.
also joining your batch.
Oh, wow.
It's Ankit.
Lovely.
Okay. Anything else you want to add about the
Yeah.
batch? How did you think the cohort was?
Okay, the
Your
cohort
cohort and
was
your senior cohort.
okay. My cohort was actually we were all like freaking out. We wanted to know about placements, कैसे हैं placements, कौन सी companies आती है, कौन सी नहीं आती है, कैसे we'll perform. So one thing that like these senior folks told us, relax करो, chill करो, enjoy करो. You've gotten an admit from the most prestigious college. Live these 2 days, roam around the campus, know your seniors, know your professors. Just take everything in. Don't worry about anything like what's coming in the placements या फिर क्या subjects होंगे, everything. Don't worry about that. We got to interact with a lot of seniors and we actually heard their stories कि कोई नेवी से है, कोई डॉक्टर है, कोई अपना 2 साल का बच्चा छोड़ कर आया हुआ है. And we got to
Swati is a government doctor who is joining with you.
Yes, I met Swati
I hope you
also.
met Swati.
Yeah, I did.
She is my closest friend from 10 years. Yes,
Oh,
she is
that's
my college friend.
lovely.
She was my
That's
first friend
lovely.
from the college. And
Oh,
I'm so
that's
glad that she
lovely.
is joining you guys.
Yeah.
Because I really wanted the best for her.
Yeah.
And I'm so glad that things worked out well. Okay, continue.
Absolutely. Yeah. So, like we got to interact. Like there was, to be very honest, whoever like all of you people, if you get an admit from IIMA, please go to Manthan next year.
Yes.
And it's a great experience of 2-3 days where you because that is the only chance that you're going to
Meet your
you're going
seniors.
to actually meet your seniors. Because when we are going on 14th of April, and like these people have already like gotten
left,
their
yeah.
degrees and they've left. So it was a great interaction session. We got a taste of कि okay, case studies, रात भर जग के क्या होता है, how do you have to manage everything, कि sports भी manage करने हैं, case comps भी, assignments सब कुछ manage करने. We got a taste of everything, and it was a beautiful experience, trust me. And yeah, like ended up making a lot of friends.
Yes, that's the
Ended
best
up
part of MBA. And these are not just friends. In a few
yeah.
years, these will be at very higher posts in the corporate, and you will have direct access to these people whenever you need something. This is why you need an MBA. So many people ask, do I even need? I'm already making 35. I'm already making 40. You're like, you're making 40 now.
Yeah.
How will you go up in future? How will you reach 1 CR? You will need a network. I understand this is difficult, and these two people who are there, Parth unfortunately couldn't join. Parth took 5 times GMAT and GRE, 5 attempts over 2 years. Shivani, the other Shivani, who's eventually going to ISB, 2 years, 3 or 4 attempts of GMAT. It is not easy for anyone, trust me. For anyone who is easy, they are not associated with me. Why will they associate with me? Go and do on your own. It is not easy. I'm telling it to people who are attending, but just stick what Shivani said in the beginning of the process. Please stick to it. Just थोड़े 5 महीने की बात है. R2 R3 ऐड कर लोगे तो 2 महीने और मिलेंगे आपको. बस थोड़ा कर लो अच्छे से. रात दिन अपनी थोड़े बर्बाद कर लो. Don't go to any
Yeah.
parties, weddings, birthdays, vacations. Everything can wait. Everything can wait for next 7, 8 months. Now, Swapnil, first and then Shivani, how was your life during preparation phase? I'm asking on Swapnil
Okay.
because she's married and such a crazy, crazy job. How did you manage?
Yes. Okay. So yeah. Coming to your question, how did I manage? Yes, it was pretty difficult for me to manage because, as I mentioned, that I'm a civil servant by profession, and I was handling three districts actually when I started my preparation, along with the election duties, because most of you will very well understand that last year, to 2024, we had the parliamentary elections. So I was neck deep in election works. So the only way I had to manage was I had to take out time early in the morning, because right from 9 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock in the night, I was thoroughly busy. And what happens in my kind of job doesn't have a time schedule. Usually,
I
people
know.
say that, okay, we don't work, but trust me, we really
Your
work
one
very
mock
hard.
we took at 11:30.
Yeah, I
I'm like,
remember
what
because
is happening? She's canceling. She like, can we do it now? Can we do it now? I'm like, what is happening? What kind of job it is?
yeah,
Okay.
my job doesn't have a time. So
Yeah.
let me tell you this very frankly. So we don't have timings. Okay, and especially when it's the election year, and I was, as I mentioned, that I was handling three districts. So the only way I could manage was to rise early in the morning and take out some 3 to 4 hours. So I started my preparation in the month of February. And also, okay, I'll mention one very important thing here. So basically, when I thought of starting my preparation for GMAT, I initially took I wasted actually 25K on coaching from one random, I would say, one random coaching, online coaching institute. And I wasted those 25K because although they made me learn some aspects of GMAT, but I was completely detoured from the kind of preparation that was actually needed. And then I contacted Anshul about it. And I also got a scolding from him that, why did you opt for that? You could have asked me earlier. You
I
wasted your
just
money
asked in
and
the
time
group,
as well.
na, asked in the group. Everyone is
Yeah,
together.
I was not sure. Should I? I thought, okay, I was very smart. I know this is the best one for MBA, but I didn't know whether it was the good one for GMAT.
All of these, I'm very
So
smart, will go down once you join
yeah,
IIM.
yeah. I thought in 2023. So
We
yeah.
all
So
think
when
we have achieved great things, then we join a tier one
yeah.
MBA. Trust me.
So
And it's the best
after
part
we
about tier one MBA that it humbles
yeah.
you
Yeah, thankfully it humbled me down in 3 months only,
down.
because I wasted because after wasting my money and time, I realized that I didn't have much time to prepare. Also, see, I had a problem that I had to apply this year only, because I told Anshul also, and I
Yes.
would like to tell everybody of you also that because of certain personal reasons, this would have been my first and the last attempt. I would not have appeared next year. So reapplication was not in my books. So either this, it's a do and die situation. Either I'll be, if I get selected, any IIM, I was not even sure which IIM. If I get selected in any IIM, I'll go for it, because I don't have the luxury to go for next year because of certain obligations.
Okay.
So
Swapnil,
when I start,
I'm really sorry.
yeah,
I want to
no,
stop
no,
you
it's
here
okay.
because
Please.
Shivani has to
Hmm.
leave for some urgent situation.
Okay,
I would ask Shivani to
okay,
answer this, then she can leave, and then I would want to talk
yeah,
more with you. So I request you to stay.
okay,
Okay.
yeah, yeah, sure.
Shivani, how did you manage? Your job was very hectic. You had recently shifted. GRE was not being, GMAT GRE were not being kind to you at all. I was getting your messages at 3 a.m. in the night. 11 to 3 was the only time you were messaging me. I'm
Yeah.
like, why is she like so stressed? I mean, I know you're very stressed, but like, why is she messaging so late? So,
Mm.
how did you manage? What were your coping mechanism and everything? And any uh, tips you'd want to give to people for the next 5 months, 5 to 8 months? Then you can leave. I will not stop anyone. I'm
Perfect.
already glad that you guys are doing it just so early, so much close to the shifting time. But please answer this and then you can leave, and then I would spend more time.
Yeah, right. I'm so sorry, Swapnil. I have to cut down
No,
your
no,
time.
it's okay, it's okay.
It's okay, it's okay. You can take your time.
Okay. So I'll tell you, my job is like my office is 75 kilometers from my place. So I travel one way 3 hours. I have to go like thrice a week to my office.
Still,
Yeah.
don't do
No,
it in your
not
post MBA job. You will make enough money to rent a good apartment near your office.
So yeah, so because I knew that I had to prepare alongside my work, and it's easier to prepare when everything else at your home is taken care of. That's why I wanted to live with my parents.
Yes. Parents are
Uh,
our biggest blessings in our life.
Absolutely, absolutely. And my journey was full of bumps, I will tell you.
Yeah.
I dreamt of doing an MBA in 2022. Didn't take an action. Uh, Studied for almost 2 months and attempted GMAT for the first time in 2023 September.
Hmm.
Got a 670.
Hmm.
And I was very disheartened with the score. I was like, I was getting in my mocks, I was getting 710, 720, and I was like, there is no way 680, 670 aega mera. And I was so disheartened. I was like, this is not for me. This GMAT is not for me. This MBA is not for me. मुझसे एग्जाम क्लियर नहीं हो रहा, मुझसे MBA क्या होगा? I had, ट्रस्ट मी, अगर पूरी दुनिया में कोई भी ऐसी गाली है जो मैंने अपने आप को नहीं दी, आई हैड पुट माई सेल्फ डाउन लेफ्ट राइट सेंटर. आई वॉज लाइक, आई एम गुड फॉर नथिंग, I won't be able to manage anything. And yes, but again, thankfully, I was like, no, I can't give up on this dream. I have dreamt of it.
Yes.
And yeah, so I started working again. Like I started studying again. I had joined a new job. I switched and I joined a new job in January 2024. For the first 3 months, it was absolutely very hectic for me in the job, like transitioning and everything. I started thinking about taking another attempt in March, April. I started studying for it towards May. I was like, I need to give my first attempt. I need to get this cracked. I was aiming at R1. I gave my first attempt, got a 311. I was disheartened with the score, but I knew that I can do well. I knew that I am not a 311 level.
Yeah.
For some reason, I like just tagged myself with marks. I attempted again. I gave my another attempt. I got a 316. And I took these in very short period of time.
Yeah.
1 month, 15 days, 20 days. Because I was like, ऐसा हो ही नहीं सकता, मेरे इतने कमा ही नहीं सकते. I gave a 316. I didn't give up. After the exam, when I got my 316 score, I was not at all, I didn't cry. I was a little like taken aback कि मेरा R1 चला गया हाथ से. But I was 100% sure. I actually called Anshul. I told him कि ऐसा है. He's like, एक और attempt, 100% एक और attempt. I was so ready. That particular day, I went to my home. I studied that night. मेरा सुबह एग्जाम था. I went to home and I started studying from day one. I gave my third attempt. Got a 320. I was like, this is it. I think so. This is not move. Like I got a 3, but it was actual movement. Like from 311, I got a 316, then a 320 in just 2 months. I was like, I can do better. In the next 25 days, I booked another attempt. I was like, 3rd December ko there is IIM Ahmedabad ka exam deadline. 2nd December ko I had my GRE booked. I got a 323. Yes. I was like,
but
okay.
You applied with the 320 only, right?
I applied with a 320 actually because they were not.
And I remember we had a discussion because she was not telling me about this score. And she missed R2 of IIM Ahmedabad on her own without telling me. And I told her, 320 is more than good enough for IIM Ahmedabad. Why didn't you apply?
Yeah.
And then I remember she said, I should have talked to you. No. You would have got the good news before only. You would have much more relaxed. All this 1 to 2 months of anxiety, pressure, you would have saved. Yes, 320 is more than good enough for IIM Ahmedabad. More than. I have a 320 admits in ISP this year. It's fine. Another word of advice, guys, please talk. Anyone can talk to me. Just talk what you're going through. Tell me. If I do not have the right answer, I'll ask someone. I will refer you to someone. But please talk. Take all the decisions on your own. You can be a self player. Great. But यहाँ पे अपनी पर्सनालिटी हाईलाइट नहीं करनी है. किसी भी तरह करके एडमिट लाना है. एडमिट ले आओ, फिर करो ना, आप सब कुछ करो खुद से. No one is stopping you. Do be yourself, like stand on your own feet. But this is very crazily competitive.
Uh,
Do it yourself, but if you think you need help, please ask. Please ask, get a seat, and then do everything by yourself. No one is stopping you. Yes, Shivani, if you want to add anything, I'll not stop you for longer. Anytime.
Yeah, so I was saying I kept chasing on for more marks because somewhere down the line I knew that okay, 323 is not great enough possibly for ISB. I had my eyes on ISB as well.
Hmm.
So ISB's deadline was 3rd December.
Yeah.
IIM R2 deadline of ISB, R3 deadline, which was the last shot of IIMA.
Yeah.
I was not even sure if I'll be able to crack it or not.
Yeah.
Or not even like I was not able to sure if I'll be able to complete my application. But thankfully, Anshul, he actually had told me कि keep everything ready.
सब ready
Keep
था.
everything
ready.
ready. कि सब कुछ ready करके रखो, हुआ नहीं हुआ देखा जाएगा, but last moment पे panic नहीं होगा. I got everything ready. I just submitted my like exam से वापस आई मैं. I just finished up my application. I did a little studying. I studied that day also. I completed my application, started working on ISB's application, worked for the next 2-3 days, 4-5 days straight away. On 9th of December, I got from IIM Ahmedabad, I got that I'm selected for an interview, not an interview, but you have to submit your essays in next 3 days.
But your essays were ready anyway.
My essays were ready.
Essays were ready.
Yeah. And then I took next 2-3 days to submit my essays. So the entire, to be very honest, I would say from May last week till December, it was a mayhem. It was so hectic. It was so hectic. I'll tell you, you asked me about the experience that I had, how I studied. On my way back home, I used to travel 3 hours in a metro. I used to do my vocab when I'm in a metro. I'm standing, I'm doing my vocab, I'm learning the words. And I used to reach office 1 hour earlier. My office starts at 10 o'clock. I used to reach at 9 o'clock.
So that you
I
can
used
sit and
to,
study.
yeah, so 1 hour I can study with a peace of mind. Trust me, and I'm very the only thing that I would say that you should take away from my journey is don't give up. Trust me, it'll be so worth it. I had given up in 2023 after my first GMAT attempt, saying that 670 wali to nahi hu main. And I had given up my journey. Something ignited and I started reworking.
One thing I want to add before you forget, Shivani, you also had a great role, great support in terms of Karan. Karan was constantly in touch with me. So guys, if you have a friend who has been there, done that, real friend, not very superficial friend. Because Karan was the one who called me and said ki help her, she's a good candidate. And then he told me your GMAT score. मैंने बोला थोड़ा improve कर लेगी तो I'll be help her. I'm all glad, but इतने कम GMAT के साथ तो नहीं होगा. So again, one thing I want to add, even after your admit, I think you did not tell Karan. I told Karan about your admit. And
उसको नहीं पता था.
I called him and I told him. She's like, "Arey, why she didn't tell you?" So and constantly he was in touch with me, taking your updates. So guys, if you have a friend, and just to let you know who Karan is, Karan worked with me 2 years ago. He cracked both ISB and IIM Ahmedabad, went to ISB, have a great career and is an amazingly smart guy. I met him luckily because he was in Gurgaon, so we did our mock tests face to face, and I was motivated by him because that guy came to me at 10:30 in the night directly from the client office because he was working for a government client at KPMG. 10:30, sweating in Gurgaon heat. I gave him water, like, please sit down. We can do it tomorrow. He's like, no, Anshul, we have to do it today only. And we did mock till 12 in the night. So guys, don't give up and please work hard. If you keep working hard, sooner or later you will get in. It's no rocket science. And ask yourself if you have worked as hard as Shivani, especially the applicants. If the answer is no, then you know what to do. Shivani, thanks a lot for your time.
Thank you so much. I would just say one last sentence that congratulations email is worth all the hassle. That congratulations email, it'll make you forget everything that you did in the past 1 year.
When you tell your parents. When you tell your parents, your family, if you're married to your spouse, that is the moment everything changes. You might make a lot of money after it, but you'll still remember that moment even after 10 years. Because you have done something competitive in a country like India. Which is so...
Also, I'd like to add that, and that can be the only reason why any parent will allow you to leave a government job. Trust me, because before that, my parents were dead against me leaving a job and especially getting out of a
Do it
stable
for your,
government job.
I'll say if you are feeling less motivated, do not feel like working, do it for your parents, yeah. I mean, you have to
Yeah.
give something good to your parents, right? See, this sound very morbid, but we have limited time with our parents. No, we cannot make that time unlimited. Do something good for them. Make them proud. Make them. I remember my parents told everyone in their circle the day I got an admit. Just make them happy even for a day. You will not
Yeah.
get that. Maybe you'll not get a chance again. Okay, Shivani, great. I'll meet you mostly in a month when I'm coming to Ahmedabad. Want to take
Perfect.
with all 9 of you because there are 9 people, this big gang, cult at IIM Ahmedabad. So great. I'm sure you'll do well. I'm also sure you might not need me again, but if you ever think you need me, feel free. I'm still in touch with Karan. I told you
Yeah.
we were having a long chat that day, and all of a sudden I told, do you know Shivani got into IIM Ahmedabad? He was like, no. So that is, I'm still in touch with people who graduated 5 years ago. Please be in touch, and I'll see you soon. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Anshu.
Thank
Thank
you.
you
See
so
you
much,
soon, Shivani.
everybody.
Thank you.
See, I'll see you soon, like after a week, Swapnil.
Yes. Now,
Yes, we'll meet
Swapnil,
soon. Yeah.
Swapnil,
Yeah.
Shivani, you can log out, no problem. Swapnil, I want you to tell everyone.
Mm.
Many people, one day I was, just few days ago, I was talking to someone.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I am turning 29. He has
Mm.
given up already. एक बार ISB में नहीं हुआ. He's like, I don't think I'll apply again. How do you get this? Did you get this motivation to still apply after having such a successful government job, successful career with a government job? What exactly motivated you? And then also tell your journey of these crazy 7, 8 months.
Okay. So, what exactly motivated me to switch actually from here to your completely different arena altogether was that in my current job, see, okay, let me tell you briefly about my job. So basically, as I mentioned, that I'm a civil servant by profession, and I've already spent about 5.5 years in my current job. But after spending 5 years, what I found is that sometimes when you know that you are meritorious or maybe you deserve something better, more opportunities, government jobs tends to limit you, especially in bureaucracy. I don't know about the other aspects of like when you are an engineer in a PSU or maybe like that, but when you are a bureaucrat, the only problem lies is that it becomes very tough for you to innovate in your job because it is a very hierarchical position. So as I mentioned that I came from a very a diverse background of IIT and then engineering and assistant professor. So when I was working as an assistant professor, the only thing I ever taught my students was to keep learning and keep growing. But after 5 years, what I found that I myself has stopped learning and growing. I was just following the orders and just implementing it everything. Although I felt a sense of satisfaction because I was working at the grassroots level and I was definitely making a mark in my own field and helping the rural people. But somewhere I found that my as a career I was getting stagnated. And yeah, so my kick to go for an MBA came in the last year, 2024, when I had applied for a position in the central ministry.
Okay.
Okay, so I was to tell you, I was the only candidate from my department who will be who was chosen by the secretary of the department, who is the senior most officer, the head of the department, to represent Bihar in the central ministry. So I gave my interview, everything went well, they were impressed. But then again, as I mentioned, that government is run by rules, and there are some really, pathetic rules that you have to cross. And one of the rules of that positioning was that you have to have an MBA, and that became a roadblock for me to get posted in the central ministry. And somebody else was chosen, and I was not just unhappy for myself, but also because the state of Bihar wasn't getting a position in the central ministry. So somewhere I felt that maybe it's time for me to move ahead in life and do something better. But as I started working on myself and finding out about MBA and what prospects I might hold in the future, I found that maybe if I'll switch to a better position in a better company, I'll be able to make more changes, and I'll be able to affect people in a better way, not just as a civil servant. And even if I intend to do something for the general masses, I think I can still do it when I'll be working in triple P projects where the government is and the private projects are included. So in
Swapnil,
that way, I think, yeah.
sorry to cut you off. I want you to highlight more
Hmm.
about your journey of preparation because
Okay, I'll come to it.
that is
Yeah, okay,
something
I'll come to it
relatable to
immediately.
people here. So I
Okay.
want these people to really take inspiration from you because it has not been an easy journey for you. Managing,
Yes.
being married, then this crazy email diary, then this crazy applications, and managing a complicated application because the application was not easy. So I want you to highlight more so that other people can relate to it and learn from you, because I really want people to learn.
Okay. Okay, I'll come to that then. Okay, so basically, as I mentioned, that I started my final preparation in the month of February in
Yes.
2024.
Yeah.
And to initiate my preparation, the very first thing I did was that I chose a online coaching, which I found by interacting with the people on the Faith Career Group. So some of the people had different suggestions. I gave demo on the different platforms, and then I chose one of them. I won't reveal the name of the coaching center because that can be your own choice. So I chose this online coaching. Then I started preparing religiously with that kind of a coaching. I made sure that I wake up early in the morning, take out 3 to 4 hours of time, and then I used to go to work and then complete my work. But I think rising up early in the morning was very helpful for me, because even if you put 4 hours of your work sincerely, that can be useful for it. I think within 3 months, I was able to complete my coaching. But the problem was that I didn't have much time because R1 deadlines were already going on. And that I'm talking about the month of June.
Yeah.
Yeah, right. So I also intended to go for R1 because I should always mention that it's better to go for R1 than to wait for the R2 and R3. But because I didn't had a GMAT, it didn't even appear for the GMAT.
Yeah.
So then I gave my GMAT in July. My first score was 575 Focus Edition, which was not at all good for ABC. And so I called him up and said, what should I do next? So he said, okay, you still have time. R2 and R3 is there. You can reappear. I again reappeared within 1 month. Again, the score was about, I think, 585 only. So it was hardly a 10-point increase. Again, I was disheartened what to do. So I thought, okay, let's at least apply for the other IIMs and SPJ and all. So I applied with that kind of a score just to keep a backup so that if I couldn't make it to a better one, I can make it to a good enough institute. So I applied to Kozhikode with that score. I applied to SPJ JMR with that score. And then I think I also applied to IIM Indore with that score. Yeah, I remember.
Okay.
So these 3 institutions I applied for that score, and I thought, okay, let's give me a third and a final try because I didn't have much time in hand. I went ahead after 1 month. My final attempt, I think I appeared in the month of August. Yeah, in August somewhere. So when I appeared, September, I remember. Yeah, September when I gave my final attempt. By God's grace, I don't know, for some reason, again, I got a 595 only. So in the 3 attempts, there was hardly an increase of 20 points. And to be very honest, I was really, I didn't want to give it again because I think it was done and dusted for me. And at that point of time, I was only looking forward to get a good admit from any good institute. I didn't know whether ABC will be interested in my profile because, I have a very diverse profile. I'm not technically very savvy. I come from a government services. Maybe I might not be a good fit for any B school. So, but having said that, I'll also like to say, but I was very confident of my profile. I knew profile in the sense that I knew that I can speak well, I can communicate my ideas, I know my job well, but I don't know whether my kind of profile is a good fit for them or not. But the best part here happened with Anshul because he gave me the confidence, and also one of the early admits of ISB, Kuldeep. I remember I was constantly in touch with Kuldeep, and somewhere he was also very much instrumental in giving me the strength that, okay, you can make it. If I can, you can definitely make
Just
it.
to let
So
you know,
eventually I started working on myself.
Just to let you know, Kuldeep was not only my mentee, he was actually my school senior. He was 4 years senior to me in school. And he randomly got added to the WhatsApp group. And then he's like,
okay,
are you that Anshul? He's like, so good to see you here. I'm like, why are you here? I thought you did UPSC some long ago. That's what I heard because we are from a very small town in Jharkhand. So everyone knows everyone. I know my father knows his family. He said, yeah, but this has happened. And now I want to do an MBA. And he had a 660. And you will not believe, you can ask him today also. He got an IIM Calcutta admit. He was very happy with it. I said, you go and apply. You go and apply. Rest, we have nothing to lose. Worst case, you'll go and join IIM Calcutta. He joined. He got IIM Ahmedabad invite also. He got dengue just before IIM Ahmedabad. We couldn't practice, but we did hardcore practice for ISP, and he just graduated.
Yeah.
So just wanted to add this story about Kuldeep. Like, this is like, I don't know where we were not in touch even in school, and I have no clue how we got added. And that's why I keep saying this to everyone, that this is a Chinese proverb that I keep putting in the group. Swapnil must have already seen this seen me using it 100 times. when the student is ready, the teacher appears.
Yes.
If you really
Absolutely.
think you are ready now, somewhere will help you to guide you.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
Swapnil, sorry, please continue.
No, it's true. So as I mentioned that Anshul was my mentor, but Kuldeep was somebody that I looked up to because I thought he is somebody I could relate myself to.
Yes.
So I think he was also one reason that, eventually I was becoming more confident of my profile, not my score. Now, I would also like to add something here that as Anshul also mentioned earlier, and also I would like to reiterate that point. Please don't wait for the score. Start building your application as early as possible. As early, because once if you are good with your application, if you're done with your essays and everything, even if you give your GMAT in the last moment,
Yeah.
you will not be flustered.
I have
You will not be jittery.
20 examples in last 2 years who took their GMAT or GRE at very last and maybe they didn't get the desired, either they got the desired score in that last 10 days, or maybe they still decided to apply and they got an admit. 20 examples.
Yeah.
Because their application was ready. They were able to do that in the last moment because the application they have kept ready. So please, guys, one thing, please start your application. It's already April. Swapnil
I think
started in February, right? Swapnil, you said.
Yeah, I've started in February. Just look at my journey. I started in February. By November, I appeared for 3 attempts. But the best part was because I was very well prepared for my applications, I was able to crack SPJIMR within 2 days. Because on 27th, 27th, you remember, na? On 27th, I got this thing invite, okay, you have an interview on 30th, and I had 2 days. And to be very honest, that was my second online interview. I was not prepared well. I didn't know what to answer, and they also because they had 2 rounds of interviews. So I mean, I was so nervous, but then I thought, okay, I'm good with my application. I know what I want to defend, and that is why I was able to qualify for PGIMR as well. And I think the very similar pattern happened with Indore, Lucknow also, because I was very well prepared with my application. I knew every
your
word.
Lucknow went really well. I remember.
Yeah. It was very nice.
Ahmedabad, I was
Lucknow
not still a bit less confident in Ahmedabad
Yeah.
only because of his score, not because
Correct.
of
I was
anything.
also, to be very honest, I told you, my interview was very nice. Everything went well, but I was very skeptical just for the sake of my score, because I thought, why will an institute like IIM Ahmedabad will compromise for me for,
To
595
reduce
is
their average
nothing.
GMAT, because
Absolutely.
taking someone like you is reducing the entire average by a huge measure, and
Absolutely.
this is very important for them. Average GMAT or GRE is important to get a high ranking in FT. They still took you. They really liked you, Swapnil. So now you have to fill very big shoes. जो बोलते हैं ना, onus is on
Yes.
you to really go and shine in the campus, and I'm sure you will.
I'm sure I will try.
Ahmedabad doesn't take anyone randomly. So I'm sure you
Yes.
will do great things. And with that,
Yes.
I will end the session
Yes.
because
Thank you.
even I have an early morning flight tomorrow. I want to sleep. Thanks a lot,
Okay.
Swapnil. Mostly, as I said,
Thank you. Thank you,
Shivani,
Anshul.
within a month, we will meet. Finally, we must meet at least once. We are working since more than 1 year now, and we have not met. So let's meet as soon as possible in the campus. And all the
And
best.
thank you, Anshul. I have always told you also, just like you repeat your Chinese proverb, I also saying that every Chandragupta needs a Chanakya. So you are my
Yes,
Chanakya for that reason. And thank you
I'm
for
so
being
glad.
such a good help. And you are the only reason that I was able to crack this
No. I'm
tough
just a
interview. But
catalyst. Your profile was always there. You just needed someone to tell you that your profile is good. You
yeah,
never found anyone to tell you. That's all.
yeah.
You
But
needed
thank
someone
you,
to
you
tell
were
you.
there for me.
That's it.
And I'm very happy because it's in the first attempt also. So that was also a very
Yes.
big boost for me, I guess.
Yes.
So,
Guys, before leaving, I have put the link to join the WhatsApp group. If you have not joined, please join. And one more thing, please put the feedback in the group that you have joined. Feedback about this call. It will help me to do things better. Great, Swapnil. 15 days, less than 15 days.
thank you, everyone. Thank you for your time.
Enjoy
Okay. Bye-bye.
the
Thank you.
remaining days
Bye-bye.
with your family. Bye.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Bye-bye.